I was born in the church, and I did not understand the gospel until I was 22. How does that happen?
We don't understand the mission. We don't get the mission. We think it's about baptisms, budgets, bodies.
Because we care more about ourselves than taking the gospel commission to the world.
The Columbia Union was happy to host and sponsor this Transformational Evangelism Conference. We have over 200 pastors who came from all 8 conferences at this event. And our goal is to motivate, to inspire them, to give them a real shot in the arm about evangelism and what it can be and how it can look, the difference it can make in their churches. But we also wanted to broaden their horizon on what evangelism looks like.
The way that we do evangelism has been left behind by the culture, and we have to adapt to the culture that we're in.
And these presentations are to inform and to encourage pastors to be able to do what's happening in other churches in their church. And they see some of the presenters saying, hey, this works in my church. And they say, oh yeah, I can do that in my own field. So this is very informative in that way.
You cannot expect anymore that you'll send out thousands of brochures and you'll get a great crowd. I remember in the 1980s when such was the case, you would. Today, very unlikely. People are different, think different. You can't expect them to come to the church anymore. You're going to have to go to them. So the things we've heard from the speakers here make a lot of sense. We're going to have to think of ways to get into the community, to get people interested, and talk to them and relate to them that way.
Just like the time changes, everything else in life changes and has to be updated. And I think evangelism has to move along with the times. It doesn't mean that we have to change our message. It doesn't mean that we change our truth, but sometimes we have to try new methods.
These days, it's less about the meeting times, and I think it's more about getting out and doing service. So a lot of churches are seeing the benefit of that.
There are multiple needs that exist, and each community is going to have its unique needs, and each church is going to have its unique gift set in being able to respond to those needs. So we need a variety of methods.
It was just personally thrilling to me to see how our pastors so received this in such a welcoming way. They did not have to come. This was voluntary. They wanted to be here. They had their hearts and their minds open. They're looking for ways to reach their community, and that to me was thrilling to see, their receptivity and their eagerness to learn, to grow, and to go back and help their churches do the same.
We were so glad to be a part of this Shark Tank event where we were able to send in a video explaining what it was that we were planning to do. It's not only to impact young adults, but to involve young adults. There were a total of about 10 or 12 that were turned in. 3 were chosen by a committee. Then all of those who were here in attendance were able to cast a vote.
Sometimes as pastors, we have a tendency to lag back and to go behind, but these type of meetings, this type of activities will refresh their ministry to go back with new life.
You put us in a room together, the pastors together. Not only are you giving us new materials, but you're allowing us to talk with one another and interact and find new ideas.
I was happy to see the format of a lecture, of theories, and then a practical application on a local church. So really appreciate the format. I actually can't wait to go back and try some of these things in my church.
Everybody in their own armor. God uses us for what we are. And He's demonstrated that over and over in Scripture, that He uses all of us. He gifts us, He calls us, and then He gives us spiritual gifts. And in those spiritual gifts, we reach lost people.